Okay, hi Brian, you okay?
I'm all right now.
Yeah, you are indeed. All right, can you just give us your name?
Ryan Harris,
Yeah,
age 70,
yeah.
and don't feel it, don't look it.
Nah, you don't train like it neither. No.
No,
So, can you just say to me, if you how did you come across the course program? So, myself as a COVID coach.
I found it on there through the UTS website, really, where somebody just made a comment about it, and I sort of added my comment. I said, "Well, I wish I could, be able to sort of join in with the training."
In
And you
fact,
come back to me
it
and you
was
said,
my session.
"Yes,"
The session on
and,
Monday.
and, and I
Yeah.
put a little comment saying, "I wish I could do this, but I can't because I've had COVID." And that's when you come back and you say, "Well, actually, we're starting this." What does CAUSE stand for?
Cause it's a training company. It's Cause
All
Education.
right.
Yeah, it's
You
called.
came back saying, and then we started from there, and it was just sort of like, I'll come in because I was watching all these sessions in the morning they used to do. It really pissed off, and just sort of say, well, I wish I could do it. So yeah, otherwise
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, because I remember Robbo commented saying, we've got Dave Bolton and Chris Thomas who are fully qualified. So obviously I jumped on and reached out to you and offered my services, which you accepted. Now, do you remember our first initial consultation?
Yeah, we had a list of questions that we went through, and I can't remember what they all were.
No.
But it was a lot of sort of boxes, and I seemed to tick all the boxes.
Can you just say to me, when did you first start experiencing COVID, like the effects of post-COVID fatigue syndrome or long COVID?
I got this sort of like the confirmation of what it was in the December, just after the Christmas, and I had a really sort of bad time over Christmas. I just felt like I had flu, and then I thought, well, okay, I got over that, and I got like a negative test, so I thought I'm all right now, but I wasn't. I was just knackered all the time. I was completely fatigued, couldn't taste anything, had no appetite at all, and just generally feeling. Technical term is shite. just not feeling.
I'm sure we can bleep it out, mate.
I know,
but
not feeling good at all.
It's how you felt at the time. Because we had that initial conversation, and then we went through all the questions, and obviously you had no taste, which obviously affected your appetite. You were very, very fatigued. I'm just going to go through.
I was sleeping all day.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Slept all day.
So, I said, what were your initial coronavirus symptoms, and what treatments have you received? And you had high temperature, headaches, a persistent cough, you were shortness of breath. Your taste was very metallic, which obviously, having done some research, it's called parageusia. It's a common side effect due to COVID or a fatigue syndrome. So I knew about this because when I had treatment, I was suffering with fatigue, and that's what I had. I had this metallic taste in my mouth the whole time. You said
it's like blood.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably tasted your own blood as I have, and it was a bit like that.
Yeah, your whole body and joints were aching. You had brain fog, poor concentration, loss of appetite, and you had to force yourself to eat, and your back was completely aching. And I remember when I saw you, because I came to see you for the Rockport test, and I just remember the thing you said to me. Do you remember what it was? You were really low, and I said, "How are you feeling?" And you basically said to me, "I'd lost all hope."
Yeah, I've just got no sort of ambition, no future. Can't be arsed doing anything, and it's just sort of like, as I said, this isn't going to get any better. And that's where it was.
Yeah, and I know you from, you used to do my classes when the gyms were open. I know they're back open, but there's no classes now at the moment. So I knew your level of fitness. I knew you weren't your typical 70-year-old. You'd be out there and you'd be doing it, and you were full of energy. And to see you, and I remember texting Sam Vance, who's your coach, and saying, "Wow, I've seen that's a massive change in Brian. You looked," and I've said to you, you looked ill. You looked as though you'd lost hope. I think your mental health was starting to kind of suffer from it, because that's that hopelessness that you'd given up. And I just remember thinking, wow, I need to help you, because I know who you are. I know what the drive you have, and I know how much you like to train for the longevity. And yeah, so we did that Rockport test.
That was tough. That was tough to just doing that, especially at the end when you maybe walk faster.
Yeah. So we went on a 12-minute walk, didn't we? The Rockport test.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
It was 12, trust me.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
See, brain fog was bad then. It was 12 minutes, but I kind of guided the pace.
We went back to 10 minutes when I started doing it.
That's myself. It. Yeah. That's when I started the program. So we did that Rockport test, and just describe how you felt doing that.
We were just like walking, and just like walking was an effort. Yeah. And it was sort of like, when's this going to end? Yeah. You know, how far is it to get home? Yeah, I just wanted to stop. Yeah. You know, I just sort of wanted to stop. And then at the end, you were sort of, because you had my my phone, and you could see my pulse rate. And he said, "Come on, let's go a bit fast." And that just like, I wanted to lie down in the middle of the street, didn't care.
And then
I was just walking.
And then the effects after, because you were wheezing while we were doing the walks, you were coughing, and when you finished, it took a while for your heart rate to come back down, didn't it?
I had to sit down.
Yeah, you had to sit down. Stop, don't speak to me, just relax. And it took forever for your heart rate to come down. And then I remember you gave me a report because I asked you, make sure you send me how you feel afterwards. And you were like, I'm extremely tired, fatigue, body aches, my chest feels bad. And all those symptoms that you'd said had just represented themselves out, if not more. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. It was sore. The chest was sore. That's a way to describe it. And just trying to get the breath.
Yeah. I think in the message, though, I think one thing which kind of gave me a bit of a buzz was you said, I feel as though I've got hope now. I've got a plan.
Yeah, it was a start.
Yeah.
It's the start of something. Somebody's actually going to help me, because I had no idea who I could ask or who could help us, because I knew I couldn't do anything. I knew I couldn't go to the gym. I knew I couldn't do anything on my own. Yeah. And had I tried to do it on my own, I'd have probably done more damage to myself. Yeah. Thinking back to it now.
You would have, because we obviously will go on to that in a bit, when you decided to push yourself a little bit further than what you should have. But yes, then we kind of the plan, and what I kind of, obviously I researched everything that was going on with you, your past medical history and stuff, and I decided the best plan was for phase 1 was to rehabilitate the respiratory system, because we need to repair the lungs at a level that you're more than capable of. So we didn't want to exert it. We wanted those lungs to slowly heal on their own by building up a tolerance to the exercise. So I put you on 2 walks for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
With a specific going off your heart rate. So it was 110 beats per minute. If you got to that, you had to physically stop, allow it to come down to 100, and then you could carry on. How did you find those at the beginning?
Difficult trying to keep it below the 110, because I only just started, and then it shot up, and I thought, well, I haven't done anything yet. And then I had to keep on stopping it. But as it went on, then, we went up to 120, that was fine. But what was good about that, I could actually see progress then. I could actually see, I'm actually sort of getting better at this. Stick with it.
That's the thing. It's a good point. Is it doesn't matter how small the progress, as long as there is progress and there is a slight curve going up, that's great. What you don't want is and I said to you at the beginning, you're going to hate me during this, because your program is going to be so low level, and I know what you're like, obviously. And as long as the curve's nice, you don't want suddenly to go like this, because the chances are you're going to regress. So it was a nice gentle curve we were on constantly. I remember one thing though. I asked you weight. You were way over what you were pre-COVID for your weight, and I asked you to do a food diary, and you did it. And you were taking, I think I worked out for your weight that what you were at the time, you needed to consume, without any exercise, 3,500 calories. When I looked at your food diary, you were consuming 1,200. So if you remember, I was saying to you, your taste, yeah, basically with your taste, we don't know whether it is the COVID fatigue that you're feeling, or the fact that you're not getting enough calories in to fuel the body for that fatigue. So kind of said, forget about taste, forget about appetite, view your food as fuel. It's going to fuel you to get better. And what happened within 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, I was on the Whispers and chocolate bars and
I was like, yeah, we don't
hobnobs.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, yeah, let's cut a few of them out, and we did. But then, what if you remember rightly, within 2 weeks of me addressing that and we putting your calories up, your taste came back.
Yeah. And
So,
the energy levels went up as well.
And that's it. So just by addressing the diet side of things, getting the calories in that you need to perform on a daily basis, helped reduce that fatigue, and probably that combined with the prescribed walks, suddenly your taste come back. And that was a massive step forward for you, but it also for me, because I thought, right, we're definitely going in the right direction now.
Yeah, I'm still overweight.
Yeah, we know. We're addressing it. We've addressed it.
Yeah, something I can work on.
Smaller plates.
Yeah, I'm actually doing that now, and I am eating a lot less. I don't particularly sort of write everything down now and use the food diary. I know now.
Yeah.
I know it is, and I look at it now and I go, well, actually, I can have a load of that. Like, I love cabbage, so I have a load of that. I don't have much of that, and it is on a smaller plate.
Is it fair to say though, but telling you about MyFitnessPal, because I remember you saying you had a better relationship with food. You suddenly realised, oh my God,
you can see it.
Sugar is it? I remember you saying it, and suddenly those whispers disappeared, the hobnobs dropped down, and then you were putting really sensible choices in, so good quality fish, and and I think that allowed, obviously we took your weight, brought your weight down, which allowed the lungs and the heart, it took the stress off them a little bit to allow it to repair, probably trying to rehabilitate it from the COVID. So we were doing these walks. You really progressed. You were messaging me saying, I feel as though I could do more. I want to do more. So we had our reviews as we did. We then increased that to three times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. You smashed that. Then we
12 minutes.
What's that? Then we went up to 12 minutes. We increased. We decreased your exercise in the week for half an hour. Then we just increased the times by 12 minutes.
Yeah.
We got to a point there where you were completely smashing it. Your taste was still the same. The effects of COVID had lessened. And then we decided to move that forward, that kind of rehabilitation of the respiratory system, to something that was more specific to what you enjoy doing. So explain to us where we moved to and what we did.
It was like a big achievement to say, okay, you can stop doing that now. You can actually do some proper exercise. You're not allowed to lift weights, but you can do some body weights.
There you go.
Body weight exercises, which is sort of something that I love doing. I love going to the gym. I enjoy sort of doing that. So that was a real sort of like bonus and out. And then I think I couldn't have done that before I started.
Yeah.
Although I would have tried. Yeah. Without you telling me what to do, I'd have tried to just do that.
And I think what's important, and it's a good message to put across, is it's best when you've done the three, is to start with the body weight. Because I came around socially distanced because you have that amazing new gym stroke cinema room that you built up.
House.
Brilliant.
Shed.
But you need to get that movement pattern back. You need to build the foundations going up. So there's no point it's like people out now, if people are coming back to the gym and trying to lift what they used to, your body's completely changed. So it was a good way of building those foundations, is just putting you through some simple movement patterns. So hinging, lunging, squatting, it was just getting that basic movements. I could see, and you were just so happy when you finished it.
Oh yeah. It was just going through. It was doing what I could do, but I did it slowly, very, very slowly, and put all the effort into the technique, if you like. So it was relearning the techniques and feeling my way into it. Because when I first started, but I did so many of them. Like, I used to be able to do. I was never any good at press ups, but I got better.
Yeah.
With Sam, we were improving, and I've gone backwards on them. So I had to start with the technique again. They're slowly building up again now.
And then push, ping the body up, bring the hips up. Yeah. Just breaking down the movements into small parts. So that memory, that neural pathway is connecting. But also, is it fair to say that you were very sore the next day?
Oh, yeah.
So you can imagine people who programming and giving you weights to do. You wouldn't have been able to walk.
No. But I was quite surprised at that.
Yeah, so we'd mix that.
That was a good feeling. That was a good feeling of sort of like that. I forget what you called it, DOMS or something.
Yeah, delayed onset muscle soreness.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good feeling. That was sort of like, yeah, I've done something. I've achieved something. even though I didn't think it was that much at the time. The next day when I felt a bit sore, oh yeah, I can feel that now. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, that was like a positive.
Yeah, and then obviously we mixed that in with the walks, and then I got to the point where I just thought you were just smashing the walks, and you kept saying to me, I feel as though I can run. So we had a discussion, and we decided to do interval training, so jog, walk. But
Yeah.
because you're a rugby referee, we kind of decided that you'd go to a rugby pitch and you'd do, I don't like saying Bronco test because we weren't doing a Bronco test, but it was a Bronco style training pattern. So do you want to just tell us what that was?
Well, see, on a rugby pitch, you've got all the lines, and I went down to New Brighton, and there's nobody else there, and they just put all the new lines in. I thought, this is great. So I could walk, say, from the dead ball line to the 22 meters line, 20 odd meters, and then I could go to the far 10 meter line, and then I could go. And it just worked out just right on each one, and I could see what I could hit. So it was a walk jog, and yeah, it was sort of like, it's now used like sort of freedom, and sort of like, when you see the horse running through the bloody field.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I did go too hard on it, and I felt absolutely great, and really sort of went for it, and boy did I pay for it.
I'll say this. So this was I think we're about 6 weeks in at this point that we started to introduce that. And I remember you messaged me going, oh yeah, Ranger. So I thought I'd sprint the final length of the pitch.
Just the last one, just on the last one.
Tell me what happened. As a warning for everyone out there who thinks they can do more and who don't listen to their coach.
Well, I did the walk, jog, well within myself. I thought, yeah, I've done it for a few weeks. I can do this easy this year. So on the last one, I'm just going to smash it. And so I went for it. And it was sort of like, whew, that was okay. Like, it was all right. But then the rest of that bloody day was just like, chest was sore, and it was sort of really sort of, and I feel as though it knocked me back a bit.
Because I remember I remember you saying to me, or messaging me saying, I did this, you were honest, a lot of people probably wouldn't, and you just said, the coughing came back, the wheezing chest, that tiredness, and you said, you were really worried you put yourself back to the beginning.
I did.
And you were panicking. But then, the next day you were fine. And I remember you saying, I've learned my lesson. I'm not doing that again.
Well, it was good in a way, in that sort of like, it taught me not to listen to you, listen to myself, and sort of stay within it, and not sort of like, go like a bloody mad horse.
Because what I say to you, and I've said to other people, is anyone can just go as fast as they can and just blast through something. It's when you've been given a set program, it's holding yourself back. That's true dedication, when you're having to hold yourself back, knowing you could probably do more. That is the true test of dedication and mental fortitude. Anyone, as I said, anyone could just go and sprint and then put themselves back. So it was moving forward that you've been really good with that. I know you had that once that you were really good on that, because you kept saying I was going to do more, but I didn't. So
it was having the control.
Yeah.
And it's having that feeling of always being able to do more, on staying within the boundaries, if you like, but at the same time, still putting, it's hard to explain. Each time I go out, I do a bit better.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't push it anymore. I still feel within my boundary. I still feel in control of what I'm doing, and I don't get to that point where I've gone beyond it. I don't know that explains it right. It's sort of like,
no, you're spot on. It's kind of just reiterate what I just said. So we got to that point. We were doing 2 of them a week, but we were always making sure we had a day recovery.
Yeah, we started putting in rests.
Yeah, we made sure it was spread out. We tried to do it as much as possible on the same days, just so if we ever slip backwards or something happened, I could review what you've been doing, and we could go there. But that never really happened. So we had 2 of them a week, and we also had 2 strengths, because I did a different strength session as well. And by that time we'd started to add a little bit of weight and a little bit of stimulus. So you had the bands, didn't we? A bit like the KO8s, which is snapped because you were so strong. But it was
used it for a while.
I know, yeah. But no, yeah. So you were smashing that, and then about 2 weeks ago, was it? What was the question you asked me?
We wanted to go. They were doing the outdoor sessions
At UCS.
and they come up. There's outdoor sessions, and can I go? And they were all sort of saying, "Who's coming? Who's coming?" I said, "I'll come as long as I've got permission to come."
Because I remember,
it was sort of like,
yeah. Because I remember you messaged me saying the gym's open on the 12th. Can we get to that? And what I've always said is it's open-ended. I'm never going to promise anyone anything because we don't know what's going to happen. Everyone's bodies are different. We adapt and we change to stimulus a lot different. So I never say, yeah, we're going to do it. But I said, we're heading towards that. At the moment, we're heading towards it. And when that session came up, and I think it was on the 9th of April, on the Saturday, I was coaching down there anyway. And you asked me, and I said, well, there was one thing that you had to do to pass before I allowed it. And it was when you were allowed to go for a jog.
Yeah, you did the first 20 minutes.
20-minute jog round the rugby pitch.
6 laps it is.
Yeah. So how
exactly
did that feel?
6 laps.
How did that feel completing that? Well, tell us what you told me before we start recording. How did you feel on that first run? The first lap.
The first lap, I was absolutely. I thought, what am I going to do? I can't do this. I can't. I felt really sort of like down, and I thought, I can't. I just can't. I'm going to stop. Yeah. And I thought, well, no, come on, just keep going. And I wasn't going fast. I was going within myself, but it was hard. It was tough. And I did the second one, and I went, oh, that's not too bad. And then the third one, the fourth one, I was just hanging in there, just hanging back a bit. Wasn't really sort of pushing after my phone. And I completed the 6 laps. And it was 6 laps exactly. It was 20 minutes. Yeah. And after I'd done it, yeah, I felt, I've been breathing hard, heavy breathing, but it wasn't I wasn't distressed at all. And my legs were hanging off. The calves were out.
I gave you the rest of the week off, the next 2 days off.
Yes, we needed 2 days off.
And the outdoor session at Hoylake, all socially distanced, because I was coaching. But then I told you to be early because I needed to give you a brief. And I said, you are to go at 50% on everything, 50%, just to get you back in. There are sprints. You are not to sprint. And I went round and I told all the coaches that they had to watch you. And if you start maxing anything out, you need to pull you out. And you did. And we've got, obviously, it will lead into this. I did a video afterwards interviewing you after. So this will be attached to this video.
So first session back after COVID, how are you feeling?
Tired. Tired is the only way to explain it. It was sort of like tired but feeling nice because it's an achievement. Yeah. Started with the hardest ones, which was the sprints. Yeah. Didn't sprint.
No.
Just walked and jogged.
Yeah, well that's what you said, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not at that sprint phase yet, but how does it feel mentally to be back now, training?
Mentally feels really good because it's an achievement, because now I've done something. Yeah. And in a perverse way, I was talking to Dave, who's going through the same thing. Yeah. And he's feeling a lot worse than me. So, I mean, it's perverse, I know, but it's sort of like, I'm not so bad then.
But on our journey, obviously, we'll do a proper video at a later date. From where you came 3-4 months ago?
3-4 months ago, I couldn't walk without wheezing. Yeah. Now I've just done a few really good sessions. Okay, I haven't got my sort of recovery back yet, but I'm not wheezing. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with my chest. My muscles will catch up with my chest. Yeah. And if I can just control my weight, I'll be good.
But as I say, for you and for me, this is a massive achievement, a massive step for getting you back into the gym. I think we're only weeks away now. It's credit to you. You've listened to the programme, we've stuck to it, and we're here on a beautiful morning with all the team in a group session.
It's just nice to see everybody else.
It is as well. Yeah, because isolation's bad, so getting socially. Obviously, we were socially distancing, but good.
You then completed another session on Saturday just gone. And I said, you asked me what, because I'm not there, what to do. And I said, I want you to take it up by 10%. I want you to push yourself that little bit harder. How did that go?
Well, it was good, and I did manage to sort of do the same thing, because when I did the 50%, I found that too easy, really. So I thought, well, another 10% wouldn't be hard. On the kettlebells, the one I had was a 16, and I normally have the 20. So I thought, well, that'll be all right. And apart from the swings and the back of my legs were a bit sore, but on the runs, I almost made the same bloody mistake again. We were doing like, they were doing like sprinting up and down, and I was just going like the 60%. Except for one, I thought, yeah, well, I'll just stride out a bit on this one. And I did. And I couldn't do the next one. I had to wait. I missed one out. I went again.
Which were people out there watching.
I know. And it was just
what's
sort of
the rule
like,
I always tell you? What's the rule I always tell you? When I'm right, I'm right. And even when I'm wrong, I am still right. No, but it's good. But yeah, it was brilliant. And then obviously you've been training this week.
Yeah.
And we've literally just had a conversation before press record. And I'm pleased to say that you have now graduated out of my care.
do you get a badge?
Do you know what? I'll get you a certificate.
I want a certificate and I want a badge as well.
Yeah. So I think all in all, it's been about, is it 4 months? Yeah, because it was beginning of January. Yeah, January to now. It's been about 4 months. Do you just want to give a summary of how you found it, and if there's anyone out there who watches this, who's suffering from the effects of COVID, what they should do? Just a summary of your experience.
Well, what you've got to do, you've got to find somebody, right, who will be able to sort of to help you, that you've sort of got, if you like, if you've got some sort of like faith in, and somebody who sort of knows what they're doing.
So they've got to be qualified by course.
Yeah, so it's got to be a qualified person, because I did get a few offers from other people, and I know these other people, and I went, I'm not going nowhere near them, but they think that they are qualified. Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of them to offer. So that's the first thing. Make sure wherever you go with is qualified. And the second thing is, you only get out of it what you put into it. Exactly. There's no good lying to yourself or anybody else. So when you do bugger up and get it wrong, say so, but learn from it. Like those times that I sort of like, I thought I could sprint and I couldn't. I nearly paid for it dear on the first one. And on the second one, I was just, well, that taught me a lesson, didn't it? But now I feel as though now I'm doing the weights. I'm sort of like, going by feel more than anything else now. I know what I can do, and I know my limitations, and I know what I'm sort of like, I'm getting near it. I wasn't able to do that before. I just had to be sort of guided. And that's the thing, just listen, do it, take the advice on board, and you'll get there. I would have thought like 4 months ago I'd have been where I am now. I was just giving up. Yeah,
because if, as I said at the beginning of this video, you had given up on everything. You had no hope. You said there was no light at the end of the tunnel. And to be fair, and as I said, you looked a shadow of your former self. Your eyes were drooping. You were bloodshot. I just remember, because I hadn't seen you for a while, and I just remember thinking in my head, wow, he's gone downhill badly here. And I needed to help you. And fast forward 4 or 5 months with me, and how do you feel today?
Hey, I feel as though now I can go back to the gym and I can progress on now. This isn't the finish of it.
No, definitely.
This is the start of it, but I'm able to start of it with sort of like, if you like, the tools that I've got, because I know now how far to push it, and I've got enough fitness level now to be able to take it further. And yeah, it'll still be slow, but I will get there. But I feel now normal. I could now be a normal 70-year-old, if you like, just who doesn't do any exercise, go for a bit of a walk there, and I'd be fine. But I've never been happy with that, and I want to be able to go on further.
What did I say to you right at the beginning? Any coach, any strength and conditioning coach worth their salt will never want to return you back to what you were. They always want to get you better, and that's exactly what you just said. You could stay at a normal 70-year-old. I could keep you and keep making money off you, but I'm not like that. I think you need to go back to Sam Vance, who's a great coach, and let him take you on further and build on that, build on your progress already, which I know you will. But mentally, how good does it feel at the moment?
You can tell.
Yeah, no, well, there you go. You've never stopped smiling.
It's sort of like,
Yeah, for me,
it's like,
for me, you've done everything right, and every time we have reviews, which were weekly, weren't they? At one point, is you were smiling, and I just kept saying you're doing really well, and I say, you getting to this point now, I'm probably just as pleased and proud as you are. it's just,
You can have a badge as well.
yeah, you trusted me, which is great. You trusted in my abilities and the qualifications provided by me by course, which are brilliant, by the way. Even I thought they were better than my strength and conditioning ones, but I shouldn't say that. The ones that I didn't need Beckett. No, actually, I didn't do them there. But no, and it's been a pleasure to get you this far. Seeing what you were, as I explained before, seeing you at a broken shell of yourself, to now sat before me, smiling and laughing, looking forward to training, wanting to do more. It's just brilliant. And this is why I do what I do, and I choose to do this, because I just love stories like you and helping people get their quality of life back.
All these things are sort of set there, all these little hurdles. It wasn't that long ago that, you know, I had the stroke.
Yeah.
And that could have been a sort of disaster. I always remember what the stroke nurse said to me then. She said, if you hadn't been as fit as you were, the results of this stroke would have been catastrophic.
Exactly.
I always remember that, and I thought, well, right, you know, as long as I can do this, I'm going to do, because the benefits are, well, yeah.
Definitely. And it's, not to turn on me, but it's the same for me. I don't think I'd be still here today if I wasn't so fit. It's how I bounced back from two surgeries, to brain surgery, you know, and how I'm still here. It's fitness, and it's about owning your own health, and you are now owning it. And it's been a pleasure and a privilege to get you to where you are now, and to see you progress on from there.
Well, simply thank you.
You're more than welcome, mate. You're more welcome. Brilliant. And this is where our journey. I'm not going to cry. But what will be good is, though, because I'm going to see you in the gym anyway, so it's going to be great. And I'm going to look forward to watching your progress with Sam, and hopefully looking forward to doing one of the classes with me in the near future when we can.
Will you? You're going to pick on me, aren't you?
Of course.
You're going to.
No, slow it down. No, that's far too heavy for you.
Yeah, stop it. Put that down. Get a pink one. Will you get in touch with Sam?
Yeah, I'll do all that.
Well, I'll get in touch with him as well, because Sam was a bit sort of like, well, I don't know, you know, because you've done so much with Dave, you know, if you wanted to stay with him, that'd be all right. And the two of you are like, sort of like, you don't want to sort of pinch. Well, I said, no, look, it was already decided before we started what we were going to do.
Yeah. And as I've said that, and a few people have said that, they're worried, and that's a good message. People worry that they're going to pass, Sam probably worrying that he's going to pass you on to me, and I'm going to keep you. I'm not that, because once you've gone, I'm messaging Mel, and I'm getting someone else assigned to me, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not here to take other people's clients. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to rehabilitate and help people get their quality of life back, so they can get back into society, they can get training, and again, they can own their own health. So it's been brilliant.
If I can help anybody else,
that's it.
If you have sort of somebody who sort of like, you know, wanted to sort of like to talk to me directly, and fine, I'm quite happy to do that.
Yeah, brilliant.
I can tell them sort of personally sort of what I went through.
Yeah, you've been a great interview, or this has been a great video for you to show what is possible when you believe and trust the process.
I like talking about myself.
Yeah. I get paid to do it, so it's all right. So brilliant. All right, Bri, cheers for everything. And I'll be speaking to you soon.